Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brandon Libal. I'm a liberal arts major here at HCC. I'm hoping to soon transfer up to UH to try and pursue my bachelor's. First and foremost, I'd like to thank all of you for being here today and here to listen to me speak about emotional contagion. First off, well, what is emotional contagion? It fosters behavioral synchrony and tracking of the feelings of others moment to moment, even when individuals are not explicitly attending to this information. Okay, so basically what it's saying is that human emotions are contagious. They're transmittable from person to person during any social interaction. Okay. When can this happen? Emotional contagion can happen anytime. It's a type of communication. Anytime you're communicating with someone, they're picking up on what you're feeling. So like all types of communication, it contains a sender and a receiver. The sender is the one transmitting the feelings, the one initially feeling it, the one putting it out there for the receiver to pick up on. The receiver is the one who intakes this. He sees it, he decodes it, and he then later he'll express that information. So, what's going on in our heads? What's going on during emotional contagion? Basically, it's the use of our MNS, the mirror neuron system. It was discovered by a doctor, an Italian neurophysiologist, Dr. Giacomo Rizzolatti. He was actually studying the brain of monkeys. He was studying the activation of parts of the brain, and his research concluded that the parts of the brain that are active or associated with certain feelings are active the same as someone who is doing something as someone who is observing it. So in his research, he had a monkey. The monkey observed another monkey picking up a banana. The brain of the monkey picking up the banana basically had the same activation process as the one who was observing it. Okay? So what are the different types of emotional contagion? So we have two different types, implicit and explicit. Implicit is it's the more primitive of them. It's the automatic one. It's when someone comes in, they're giving the most, it's unconscious by both sides, and they're giving the most like subtle clues to transmit feelings. They're barely showing anything, but for some reason you can pick up on it, and that's what implicit is. It's your automatic unconscious reading of someone else's facial expressions, body language, to start to read their feelings. The second, on the far end of the spectrum, is explicit. This is intentional. This is the type that it's basically the manipulation of another's feelings. It's the side that can include stuff like purposeful showing of feelings, dialogue. Let me give you a great example. Sports. If any of you have ever played sports, you'll know that once in a while you'll have those times when you had a bad first half. It's depressing. You go into the locker room, you're all sitting around, everybody's just kind of down and out, and then the team captain stands up. What does he do? He starts yelling. He starts expressing emotions, expressing feelings of excitement and anxiety, just rage. Well, whatever it may be, you start to pick up on it. He'll yell. He'll tell you stuff like, "Oh, we're the best team in the conference." Whatever it is, he's purposefully manipulating your feelings. This takes place a lot of times in leadership roles, workplace. Anytime someone is trying to get you to feel a certain way. A lot of times it happens in relationships and we don't even know it. So I could sit here and give you examples all day, but I think I'll stick to the ones that we all know best. The first one being relationships. As I said, you come home from a hard day of work. You're tired. But you see your wife. She comes in. She's so happy. She's so happy to see you. So what does she do? She gives you a hug, kiss, asks you about your day. She tells you about hers. You guys start to carry on with the conversation, just trying to humor her, you know. But as the evening goes on, you guys go maybe eat dinner. Gradually, you start to feel it's easier to communicate about your day. You tell her, you start to talk a little more, not just listen to her talk, you know. And then the evening continues, and next thing you know, you find yourself in bed with a smiling. You're happy, and then you start to think to yourself, at which point throughout this evening was I able to go from grumpy and disconcerting to actually joyful as she's feeling? And that was when you were talking to your wife. Let me take a look at my notes here. And according to Noreen Bowler, a professor out of the University of Texas, positive moods happen to be more contagious than negative moods. So please remember that anytime you're in a bad mood and you're around people, they're probably going to have a bigger effect on you. Let's be thankful it's not going the other way around. The last example I'd like to use, because it's something that I'm sure all of us have had experience with, is leadership and emotional contagion in the workplace. A lot of times, you're having a normal day and someone will come in a bad mood, and what's your first reaction? Your first reaction is to pick up on their mood. Being the receiver, you pick up on their mood and you'll start to express that mood, and most times you express it right back towards them. Will this really solve anything? Being a good leader, as Dr. Ronald Gordon put it, is skillful at managing their emotions. Okay, they maybe if now knowing what you know now about emotional contagion, anything you do or say, it'll be transmitted to those around you. So why not try to make the workplace a really high tension area a more positive place? People will start to look to you more for emotional stability, because the positive and beneficial moods, feelings you're putting out there. Okay, so that was my last example. I hope you pretty much understand what emotional contagion is. So if there's anything I want you to really take away from this, is that emotions are highly contagious. Please be careful what you're spreading out there. And with this new understanding of emotional contagion, I hope that you're able to guide your own, and of course others, emotions and feelings in a positive direction. If there are no questions, thank you for your time and have a great day.